Well, it's so great to be with everybody. What? Yeah, Jamie has
Nice.
a comment there, and that reminds us. Why don't we open up the chat box if it's not already open, and hopefully you have a prayer booklet, and we shall get started with some wonderful music.
So I want to remind everybody to go on mute if you're not muted yet, so that way you can feel free to sing along and there won't be any disruption to the sound if you do that. So yeah, just make sure you're on mute and we'll all sing together. So this first song for opening up into Shabbat is a nigun. So the words are I Diddy Die. It's a nigun written by a close friend of mine, Cantor Bryce Amley Magdal. So we've done it a few times here before. If you'll join me, I Diddy Die. I diddy die, diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, die, die. I 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 diddy die, diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, die, die. I 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 diddy die, diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, diddy die, die, die. I diddy die, die, die. And well, if you'll turn in your Siddur, or if you prefer to have the page in front of you, we'll put that on the screen as well. Page 5, Tzadi Katamar, another wonderful welcoming song for Shabbat, um, about the righteous flourishing like a palm tree. Tzadi Katamar Yifrach Ke'eretz Bavanon Yisgah Shetulim Beveit Adonai Bechazrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuvun Beseiva Deshenim Bera'ananim
Shabbat Shalom, dear friends. Shabbat Shalom. So wonderful to be together tonight. I cannot remember the last time a Shabbat evening service occurred on Christmas Day. Well, wishing a joyous and Merry Christmas to our Christian family members and friends and supportive members of our temple community. You know, Shabbat, like Christmas, has lights, and it has delicious foods, and it has the warmth and the presence of family. So tonight our temple family comes together for prayer and song and Jewish celebration and being with each other, panim el panim, face to face. So let's now welcome Shabbat as Jewish people have done for centuries, with joy and with a community of friends and family, as together we sing Lecha Dodi on page 5.
There are lots of melodies for Lecha Dodi. This is one many of you have heard before. I've done it here before. It's an original of mine. If you're not familiar with it, please do sing along. You'll catch on to it pretty quickly. And we'll put the words up on the screen for you. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We'll do that again. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'ribur echad Ishmianu el ham-yuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. This is the moment where, if you're so inclined, you might want to stand up, turn towards your door, and greet the metaphorical Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam besimcha u'tzola Toch emunei yom segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Well, we're going to now greet the presence of Shabbat with our Sabbath candle lighting. We turn to page 9. We are so very honored to call upon the Seton family, Ishai, Liz, Margot, Leo, and George. Hey, guys. Shabbat Shalom.
Hi.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Ooh, that sweater looks cozy.
It's the Christmas sweater.
Nice. Very colorful, very festive.
It comes out once a year.
Yes. So is the whole family there? Who do we got?
Yeah, we're
Leo's here.
All right.
George.
Hey,
Margot's
there he is.
Oh, come here.
Hey, Leo, George, is Margot there?
There
He
she
is.
is.
There she
Hi,
is.
Margot. It's nice to see you all. So, for people who may not know, Margot's in the sixth grade, Leo is in the fourth grade, and George is in kindergarten.
That's
That's
right.
There
right.
he
Yeah.
is. Well,
Yep.
it's so great to be with you and your family tonight. Thank you for leading the Sabbath blessings. Are you guys ready?
Of course. Yes. And we're using candlesticks that George made in my family and me.
Awesome. Here at Temple Sinai. Thanks,
Yep.
George. They look great.
All right. So we'll just read on page 9. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Now, so there are two readings. You want to whichever one you like. Dealer's choice. So whichever one you like at the top of page 9.
Oh, you want me to read? Light is the symbol of God's creative goodness, an outward sign of the inner spark God has placed within each of us. Light is the symbol of wisdom, of knowledge, and of truth. Light reminds us of our commitment to God's commandments. Okay.
Light is the symbol of warmth and unity. It binds us together with Jews in all lands who kindle the Sabbath lights as we do now. In joy and peace and sanctity and in remembrance, may the Sabbath lights we now kindle continue to burn forth in our hearts and in our souls.
Amen.
Amen.
It's beautiful. Thank you. So as they light, canter in just a moment after it's lit. Oh my goodness, very nice. Very nice. Leo's doing the lighting. And then Cantor will lead us in the blessing. Thanks, Leo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Thank you guys for lighting the candles. Hey, inquiring minds want to know. Ishai, I was talking to Cantor a little bit about the pronunciation of your wonderful Israeli name, which it means in Hebrew means gift. And if I am correct, the English version of it is Jesse, the father of King David, the great King David. So I'm going to let you pronounce it for us.
You've been saying it right. I always have to tell everybody it's Ishai, like E-S-H-Y.
So the stress is on the E. It's Ishai, not Ishai, which is sometimes done in Israel. So I love it. So it's Ishai.
Yeah, in Hebrew, it's spelled Yud Shin Yud, which is how I went to a Hebrew school, elementary school, and we had to write it like Yud Shin Yud. So Yishai.
Right. People in America would think, oh, it must be Yishai, like people might say Yitzchak, but it's really Yitzchak and Ishai.
Yeah.
Very cool. Wow. All right. Well, there we go. So I'm always going to remember it now. It's always the stress on the first, like I've been saying. And over the years, Ishai, I've asked you a half dozen times to make sure I'm pronouncing.
Oh no, I've stopped. I'm so used to everybody else. You're by far one of the better ones. And it doesn't bother me at all. I've heard everything.
Well, it's great to see you. And so we know how to pronounce Ishai. We know how to pronounce Liz and Margot and Leo and George. Thank you all so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Well, looking at their beautiful family, the Seton family, it reminds us of all of our beautiful families. So we now come to our family Shabbat blessing. We invite you to gather with your family near, and if they're far, to embrace them in your heart as we now share in the family blessing on the bottom of page 9.
May God bless you and keep you. May He shine His face upon you and praise you. May He lift His presence unto you and she shine her face upon you and praise you. May she lift her presence unto you and grant you peace. And grant you peace.
Well, the new year 2021, as we know, is just around the corner. I know we were all looking forward to turning the page on 2020. And I came across a wonderful Jewish poem and prayer from the great Jewish liturgist and a poet, Alden Salavi. We've shared Alden's prayers before, and I just want to set this up, and then we're going to put it on the screen in just a moment, Jason. So Alden wrote this prayer for another new year, the Jewish New Year 5781. And we didn't get a chance to do it then because we were doing so much other great stuff, but I kept it in my back pocket, and it seems really appropriate for the turn of the secular new year. And as Alden himself says about this prayer poem, it's a big, audacious prayer that we've earned after a year of global pandemic. So we thought we'd share it with you tonight. So Jason, we are ready. This is called Wildly Unimaginable Blessings. I love the title even itself, Wildly Unimaginable Blessings. And Alden writes, let us dream wildly unimaginable blessings. Blessings so unexpected. Blessings so beyond our hopes for this world. Blessings so unbelievable in this era that their very existence uplifts our vision of creation, our relationships to each other, and our yearning for life itself. Let us dream wildly unimaginable blessings, a complete healing of mind, body, and spirit, a complete healing for all, the end of suffering and strife, the end of plague and disease, when kindness flows from the river of love, when goodness flows from the river of grace, awakened in the spirit of all beings. We now connect with the source of all beings, the source of life itself, which we affirm with the Shema on page 14.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Well, to lead us in the V'ahavta tonight, we are so very honored to call upon our fabulous Director of Education, Carolyn Moore Musso. Shabbat Shalom, Carolyn. Hi. Oh, Carolyn, I think you're still muted. There we go. Hi. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So, start, right?
Yeah, we're on page 15, everybody, and thank you, Carolyn.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Yashar Kochech. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Thank you. And Carolyn has been teaching our B'nai Mitzvah students how to chant so beautifully and wonderfully, chant Torah like that, for their bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies as tutor along with cantor. And Carolyn, can I brag on you a little bit more?
Suit yourself.
All right. We want to let everybody know, just so you can mark it on your calendar, that on Friday, February 5th, which is obviously Shabbat, the first Friday in February during our family service, Carolyn is going to be honored in the greater Jewish community of Los Angeles by the wonderful organization, the Builders of Jewish Education. They used to be called the Bureau of Jewish Education. Now they're called the Builders of Jewish Education, which Temple Sinai partners with. And Carolyn is going to be recognized that night, Friday, February 5th, along with other educators in greater Los Angeles, our wonderful educational leaders who have worked so hard during this time where we're all Zooming and being very creative with her teachers in religious school. There it is. It's called the Out of the Box Gala, or Gala, tomato. And we're going to be participating along with other synagogues around the greater Los Angeles area that Friday evening, February 5th. And Carolyn's going to be honored with her colleagues for her tremendous work that she's been doing during this time. So Mazel Tov, Carolyn. We can't wait to celebrate with you. And so more to come. We'll be sharing you more information. Jason will be sharing more information with us all as we get closer to February. Well, let us now turn back into our prayer booklet. We are on page 16. We come to our Song of Redemption, the Song of the Sea, Shirat Hayam, the song of our people of redemption and freedom.
We'll put the words up on the screen for you as well, so you can feel free to sing along. But if you're looking at home, you'll find it on page 16. I want to share with you all some words that I had in consideration of this Shabbat on Christmas Day. So Hanukkah is over, but today and yesterday we have the holiday of Christmas. And while Christmas is considered to be one of the ultimate Christian holidays, that doesn't necessarily mean we don't have our own way of celebrating. Who here ate Chinese food and enjoyed a nice movie or two or more? Take a second, see if I can check some hands out. Yeah, I'm seeing some hands. Yep. So, while sitting down with some Chinese takeout and aiming to figure out what movie to watch, my roommate and I yesterday opted for a movie that felt like it could truly encapsulate our feeling of celebrating Christmas as Jews. It was a movie called All I Want is Christmas, sometimes alternatively titled as Ira Finkelstein's Christmas or Switchmas. In it, a young Jewish boy growing up in Hollywood, having never experienced snow, dreams of celebrating Christmas. But while his dad is busy directing a Christmas movie and his event planner mother is busy coordinating a lavish Christmas party, they send him to be with his grandparents in Florida during the holidays. While waiting for his connecting flight in Chicago, he meets Mikey Amato, a boy his age who is being sent to cousins he barely knows in Christmastown, Washington, and who thinks Ira's planned trip of celebrating Hanukkah with loving grandparents, spending time in hot weather Florida, sounds like a dream. Since they are of the same height, size, and approximate appearance, and neither's relatives have seen them in 5 years or more, they decide to switch places for the holiday. I won't give away everything that happens, but here is a snippet of conversation that occurs between Ira and the town's Santa Claus just after Ira has had an encounter with the town's bully and goes to recover a menorah he was trying to sneak away with so he could celebrate Hanukkah while in Christmastown. I'm banished from Christmastown. Impossible! Our people have contributed to Christmas for years. Our people? Murray Lefkowitz, at your service. A Jewish Santa? Who else would work on Christmas? And you are? Ira Finkelstein. But don't tell anyone. I'm incognito. Ira, you know the song White Christmas? Of course. I love that movie. A Christmas classic, yes. Written by a Jewish writer, directed by a Jewish director, and the songs courtesy of the great Irving Berlin, also a member of the tribe. No way! Let It Snow, Let It Snow, written by Sammy Kahn and Julie Stein. Jew 1 and Jew 2. Silver Bells, Winter Wonderland, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. We're batting 1,000. Go ahead, try one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Funny you should say that. Johnny Marks, Jewish. He also wrote Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree and Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. That's crazy. Is it? That's a very interesting question Santa Claus, aka Murray Lefkowitz, asks. Is it crazy that seemingly most of the popular tunes sung for Christmas were written by Jews? There is actually a fascinating story behind the prevalence of Jewish Christmas songwriters. It starts when Alexander III ascended the throne in Russia, and his regime quickly became extremely oppressive toward Jews. More than 2 million Jews left Russia and its nearby neighbors between 1881 and 1914, and the U.S. was their primary destination, and most especially New York City. In those times, very few were wealthy enough to afford much more than tenement housing, and these Jewish immigrants found they couldn't get their foot in the door for the professions, nor were they allowed access to higher education. The biggest door open to them was one no one thought much of in the first place because it wasn't considered important or lucrative enough. Entertainment, the business of show. Even today, the Jewish people are practically synonymous with the industry, especially in America. This is why. Tin Pan Alley in New York was the hub of popular music writing, and there were many Jewish songwriters who were top contributors. Most of them changed their names to fit in more. Israel Balin became Irving Berlin. Jacob and Israel Gershowitz became George and Ira Gershwin. You get the idea. And it was the desire to fit in and be part of the surrounding culture that appealed to these songwriters, to the point that they even felt compelled to write Christmas songs. And they ended up shaping the culture to no small degree. In particular, Irving Berlin's White Christmas opened up the floodgates. Many songwriters back then weren't writing Christmas songs because they dismissed them as being useful only once during the year. But Irving Berlin's successful hit came at a time when Americans were serving in World War II and longed for the sense of nostalgia and home evoked by the lovely Christmas song. I'll admit, I'm not immune to the infectious holiday spirit inherent to Christmas music and movies. Let's take a moment for a poll in the chat. Do you have a favorite Christmas song? And if so, what is it? Take a moment to check in on the chat. Favorite Christmas songs. Do you have one? And if so, what is it?
White Christmas.
White Christmas. It's a favorite. Yep, definitely. Chestnuts roasting. Sleigh Ride. Okay. Chestnuts. All I Want for Christmas Is You. Okay. Santa Tell Me. Okay. Oh, Frosty the Snowman, Carol of the Bells, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, I imagine. Little Drummer Boy. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of answers coming in, different answers, many of which were, yep, the most wonderful time of the year. Okay. So you can feel free to keep, if you think of Christmas songs you really like, you can feel free to keep putting them in the chat. Well, we all know White Christmas, Let It Snow, Silver Bells, Winter Wonderland, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire were written by Jews. Also, Johnny Marks' Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, and Have a Holly Jolly Holiday. But he wrote a couple others called Silver and Gold and Run, Rudolph, Run, made popular by Chuck Berry. The music for Sleigh Ride was written by Leroy Anderson, who wasn't Jewish, but the lyrics were written by Mitchell Parrish, nay Michael Hyman Pashalinsky. I'll Be Home for Christmas by Walter Kent, otherwise known as Walter Maurice Kaufman. When you compare all the Christmas songs with those older ones that often hail from earlier centuries in Europe, they have a very different sort of theme. There's less focus on the religious significance of the holiday and more on the feeling of it. In one of my classes for cantorial school, we were posed the question, what is Jewish music? And you might spend your whole life thinking you know the answer to that question until you are asked it. Is it prayer? Is it Hebrew, English, Yiddish, Ladino, Farsi? Is it Israeli? Is it religious? Is it secular? Does it have words at all? Think of the Nigun we sang earlier, for instance. Is it sung in Jewish settings? Is it written by Jews? Well, with that last one, it turns out a whole lot of Christmas songs could then qualify. But just because they are Christmas songs, does this mean they're not for us too? Having gone to public school and spent all my school years in choir, I have sung a lot of Christmas songs in my life. Even now, I probably still know way more Christmas songs than Hanukkah ones, for instance. But even though I never celebrated Christmas the conventional way my non-Jewish friends did, I never had any problem getting into the holiday spirit and singing those songs. Because if there's anything our brethren at Tin Pan Alley taught us, it's that Christmas is a holiday, but also a feeling. And we are not exempt from that feeling. So we may have our Christmas traditions too. We may like to sing carols and watch Christmas movies, to eat Chinese food, because historically that's what was open on Christmas, and it's easy enough to avoid mixing meat and dairy when most of the food doesn't contain dairy. There's also a reason that the holidays of this time, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and Christmas, all have a focus on light, family, joy, and warmth during the time of year that is darkest and most cold. That, to me, is what holiday spirit is all about. And our participation in that, in whatever capacity it may be, is nothing to shy away from. 'Tis the season. So in light of the fact that it's a dark time of year, I wanted to use this moment to transition into a prayer that recognizes the darkness, because even though we do like to use the holiday to bring in more light, we also want to recognize that there is a value to the light and to the nighttime and the transitions that we have. So I've done this song here maybe once or twice before. It's called Roll Into Dark. It's a prayer that we sing for Ma'ariv. So we're gonna put the lyrics on the screen for you all, and please do feel free to sing along. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Yom halayla, golel lo mipnei choshech, golel lo mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Golei yom halayla, golei lor mipnei choshech, golei lor mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Well, thank you, Cantor. Thank you so much for the wonderful teachings and beautiful, beautiful music. My goodness, a lot for us to not just think about, but a lot for us to feel. You mentioned about the feeling that is so powerful and reminds me. There's a wonderful book by Harvard a professor and psychiatrist named George Valiant called Spiritual Evolution, where he said that religion at its best cultivates feelings, noble feelings, good feelings, feelings of gratitude and awe and forgiveness and reverence and love and all these wonderful feelings that every person is capable and has the capacity to feel. That what religion does at its best is to talk about those feelings, bring them out when we share them during holidays, we share them during prayers, and you shared that with us tonight, Cantor. So thank you so much. And so now, as we take a moment with the feelings, the wonderful spiritual human feelings that we might be feeling now, feelings of awe for Shabbat, feelings of gratitude for the blessings of family and community and all the goodness in our lives, let's take a moment to connect with those feelings and the source of those feelings in our silent prayer and contemplation.
Hopefully you've all had a moment to conclude your personal meditations. We're gonna conclude that with Yehu L'Ratzon. May the words that we've just spoken in our hearts be acceptable before Adonai our God. You'll find it on page 22 of your Siddur, and we'll put it on the screen for you as well. Yehu L'Ratzon Imrei fi V'hayon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goali Yehu L'Ratzon Imrei fi V'hayon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goali Yehu L'Ratzon Ivrei fi v'hayon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri v'goali Yehu L'Ratzon Imrei fi v'hayon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri v'goali tzuri v'goali.
Well, as we continue to open our hearts with sacred feelings that Cantor inspired in us tonight, we think of people we know and care about who are in need of healing, so we connect with our feelings of care and love and kindness and compassion as we now think of them and pray for their refuah shlema, their complete healing of body and spirit. We're on page 22. Please join us in this prayer of healing.
Mishabeirach avoteinu v'kor habracha le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Well, at this time, friends, we invite you to offer the names in the chat box of people you know who are in need of healing. Our prayer of healing tonight is for them. And as we continue to put names in the chat box, our prayer of healing is also for all the folks listed on our Misha Beirach list, these temple members who are all in need of healing, these family members who are all in need of healing, and these friends and coworkers who are in need of healing. We continue.
Mishabeirach imoteinu v'kor habracha la'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with and let us say, Amen.
We pray that they are all healed. Well, our Jewish worship is never complete until we think and open up our hearts to the love of family members who have passed away that are very much still with us in our hearts and in our minds. Our prayer of Kaddish for family members, for friends who have passed, for members of our community, members of every race and nation who are a blessing to humanity. We think of them now, we honor them through our memory and through our love and through our prayer. As I mention the name of a loved one who has passed, I invite you to please stand, and in just a moment we'll all stand together to recite the Kaddish prayer. This Shabbat, our Kaddish prayer, we remember Lori Greenberg. We remember Earl Sanders, Larry Moskowitz. We remember Rebecca Kaufman, Howard Schwartz, David Bernstein, Stephen Strauss, Donald Allen Pocock, Susan Goldsmith, Cecilia Carpenter. We remember Alan Loybin, Patricia Jacobson, Florence Schwartz, and Claire Cohen. And for those who are observing Yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one that is commemorated this week. We remember Irene Kahn. We remember Benjamin Loybin and Maury Cohen and J. Walter Hellman. We remember Ruth Dulles Kafel, Rose Pressman, Gerald Richelson, Aaron Seltzer. We remember Yetta Zelzinski-Jabin and Julia Schneider, Fanny D. Cohen, Morris Schrager, Eva Kaufman, and Glenn Dorn. And we invite you to list in the chat box a loved one who has passed that you're thinking about tonight, and our Kaddish prayer is for them as well. We now turn to page 24 in our prayer booklet, page 24, and we stand together as a community of family and friends, thanking God that they were all with us as we pray. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bialma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'b'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'le'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudesha berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru Amen.
Amen.
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn. May we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we say, Amen.
Amen.
And please be seated, everybody.
We like to conclude this portion of the prayer with Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace. If you'll please join me, leaving off at the end of the same page. Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimramav, Yaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimramav, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bivravam. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Ve'al kol Yisrael amen.
At this time, we are so very honored to call upon Temple Sinai board member and past president of our sisterhood and Oneg Shabbat person extraordinaire, Flo Cohen. Hi, Flo.
Hi, Rabbi. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We'd like to thank, of course, Rabbi and Cantor for their beautiful service. And Cantor, thank you for talking about the feeling. Now we know why I am obsessed with Hallmark movies. And even the ones that show Hanukkah. And we'd like to thank the service participants tonight. The Seton family, Ishai, Liz, Margot, Leo, and George. Carolyn, we'd like to thank you for doing such a lovely job with the Be'ahavta. Tonight's virtual Oneg is sponsored by longtime temple members, Larry and Flo Cohen, in memory of both our fathers, who were first cousins and died 3 years and 3 days apart at this time. This is a busy weekend at Temple Sinai. Tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m., there's the Minyan and Torah study. And Sunday is a very special day, Brotherhood's Grounds Improvement and Handiwork Day. It's happening on site at the temple on Sunday starting at 10 a.m. And though Brotherhood's sponsoring it, I have on good authority that all adults are welcome to come help out. Because of liability issues, no kids, please. But anybody who wants to work, please join us. And many hands make light work, as they say. And then, as if that weren't enough, there's a Come As You Are casual Zoom gathering sponsored by the Social Action Committee Sunday at 1 p.m. And Monday night is Carol Cornell's Emotional Resiliency class, Monday at 7. You'll find full details and Zoom links for all these in Sunday's TSG email blast. Again, thank you for joining us and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Flo. Thank you, Larry. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. And Flo, yeah, we've got so much going on this weekend. There's always a great activity here at Temple Sinai. And Flo, you reminded me, I just want to mention something coming up in the new year, which is going to be the first Thursday in January. I'm mentioning it now because I'm taking a little vacation, so I will not be here next Shabbat. Cantor is going to be leading beautiful music and leading a wonderful prayer and teachings. And so thank you, Cantor, for doing that next Friday, which is New Year's Day evening. But when I get back, we're going to be doing a lunch and learn the first Thursday of January the 7th. I think you're going to like this title of a subject. And we want to thank Heather Halprin, who's with us tonight. And this was her idea. I had seen the article, and Heather reminded me of what a great discussion topic this would be. Get this for the title of the article and our discussion. Republican Jews like me are being chased out of synagogues. Republican Jews like me are being chased out of synagogues.
True.
So we're going to talk about that Thursday, January 7th for Lunch and Learn at 1 o'clock. So please join us and tell your friends. It should be a really stimulating discussion. And let us continue in our Shabbat celebration. Kiddush, Cantor.
Yes. Hopefully everybody has their Kiddush cup ready. We'll do the short Kiddush together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
And of course, we have a closing song for tonight. This is Adon Olam, which many are familiar. And this particular melody is the French Sephardic melody for Adon Olam, which I think a few of you should be familiar with. And if you're not, you'll catch on pretty quickly. So we'll put the words up on the screen for you. Adon Olam, please join me. Adon Olam Asher Ma'ala B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa V'Chavtzo Kol Azai Melech Shmo Nikra Azai Melech Shmo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hove Vehu Yihya B'tifara Vehu Yihya B'tifara Vehu Echad V'yein Sheni Lehamshir Lo Lehachbira Beli Reishi Beli Tachlit Velo ha'oz v'ha'misra, velo ha'oz v'ha'misra, vehu be'li v'chai ko'ali, v'tzur chavli be'etzara, vehu nisi umanos li, v'nat kosi v'yom ekra, v'nat kosi v'yom ekra. Beyado akid ruchi, be'eti sham ve'a'ira, ve'im ruchi geviati, Adonai li ve'lo ira, Adonai li ve'lo ira. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Jason, thank you for all your help, and let's open it up for everybody and wishing everybody a healthy and happy new year, a good new year.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.